right, this is our writing assessment that you have to do for your case study. This is a must-do assessment with your child, and this is the rubric that you will be using. It is called the 6-Trait Assessment for Beginning Writers, sometimes called the BWC. And I'm just going to go through each of these, and then we're going to grade one together so you understand how to grade for your case study and how to do the response activity. So there are actually 7 traits on this, sort of funny, but we have ideas, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency, convention, and presentation. So those are the traits that you are going to be looking at, the writing. You're going to see, does this writing have these traits? When you go through these traits, you're also going to be looking at their scoring. Are they experimenting, which is a 1, emerging, which is 2, developing, which is 3, capable, which is 4, and experience, which is 5. So these are the 5 scoring rubric, if you will, that you're going to use. So, and through each trait, for instance, the trait idea, there are many different things you want to look for. And you're going to be looking at each one, and you're going to be putting check marks, and you have to go through the entire document to grade your paper. So we're going to do partial grading of 1 to give you guys an idea. All right, so for instance, this is a student's writing sample. You are going to have your students do a writing sample. You can get prompts from the online. You can Google writing prompts for kindergarteners, writing prompts for first graders, and just to find a good prompt. The best prompt is something that is very specific. You do not want a broad prompt. So this is what one kid wrote. I do not know the prompt for this one, but he wrote, "There was a very big room. Our room was on the 2nd floor. Our room number was 210. The 3rd time we went swimming, me and my friend had the pool to ourselves. We went to the arcade." So that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm looking at it. One thing you want to look for is spelling. You want to look, do they write neatly, like in straight lines, or is their writing sort of crooked? How do they do with their formation of their letters? Sentence structure, does the story make sense? Is it confusing? And then how do they do with grammar? So that's what we're going to go through. So I'm going to start with my first trait, which is ideas. All right? And I'm going to start looking through the first one. Uses scribbles for writing. No. So I'm going to go around some recognizable words. Attempts a story or to make a point. Or writing tells a story or makes a point. Well, I don't really think there's a story here because he talks about being on the 2nd floor and then he all of a sudden is swimming. There's no story. So I'm going to give this kid, for ideas, I'm going to check it right there. Now I'm going to go to the next one. This talks about illustrations. There are no illustrations, so I can disregard. If you have kindergarteners or first graders, you might want them to do an illustration to help them with their writing. But this kid was a 2nd or 3rd grader. He did not need to do that. So I'm going to go to the next one. This talks about drawing. So meaning of the general idea is recognizable, understandable, or idea is generally on topic, or uses interesting, important details for support. And then this is too basic. So I'm going to give him a 3 again for this one, because his idea is not on topic. I understand what he's writing. He could possibly be talking about being at a summer camp where they went swimming, but there's some semblance of an idea. All right, so I'm going to go to the last one. This still talks about pictures and letters, so I can move on. So some ideas clear, but some are still fuzzy, or details are present but not developed, or a writer understands the topic well. He definitely does not have a 5. So I'm going to say it's between a 4 or a 3. I'm going to give him a 3 again, because I sort of know what he's talking about, but not really. So right now, for the trait ideas, he has the most check marks under 3. So he's going to get a 3 for ideas. And that's how you would do it. You might have check marks all over the place in every single numerical column, which is okay. You just end up choosing the column that has the most check marks. So now I'm going to go down to voice. You have to do organization, but I'm just going to do voice now. So we're going to look through here. Communicates feeling with size, color, shape, line. No, not really. So I'm going to hints of voice present in words or phrases. Expresses some feelings, some predictable feelings. Writing is individual and expressive, and uses text to elicit a variety of emotion. There isn't really much emotion in here. He just tells a lot about what he did, not how he felt about it. So, and I'm not really getting a big sense of excitement about what was going on. So this is not it. It is not individual or expressive. Sort of predictable. I'm actually going to give him a 2 for emerging. Hints of voice present in words or phrases, meaning I don't really see a personality behind his writing. I'm not really getting who he is or why he's writing this. All right, so I'm going to give him a 2. So I'm going to go to the next category. Looks different from most others. Moment of individual sparkle, then hides. Individual perspective becomes evident, or takes some risk. Well, there are no risks. So I can go back to 2 and 3 here. So individual sparkle, I don't really see it. To me, it's just he's telling us what he did. So I'm actually just going to give him a 2 again. So going down. And then going to the next category. Repetition of familiar ideas reduces energy, and personal treatment of a standard topic. Point of view is evident, writes with a clear sense of audience. So I go through, I'm actually going to give him a 3. Repetition of familiar ideas reduces energy, just because it's very stagnant. There was a room, it was on the 2nd floor, the number, he just keeps it it's almost like he's giving us a list. So I'm going to give him a 3 for that one. And then I'm going to keep going. So, for instance, audience is fuzzy, could be anybody, anywhere. Reader has a limited connection to the writer. Not point of view, cares deeply. I'm going to give him audience is fuzzy, could be anybody, anywhere. I don't really know who he's writing for. Okay. And then I skipped one, go back up. So treatment of topic is predictable. Awareness that the writing will be read by somewhere else. Writes to convey a story. I'm going to give him a 3 for this. You have to know there is no right or wrong answer when grading, doing the rubric for writing. You just have to use your best judgment. I'm going to be looking for, did you fill this out correctly? Did you fill it out? So I think, does he know someone else is going to be reading it? Because he is telling us about something. But I look at this, and I have check marks in 2 categories, but my most check marks are in 2. So he is going to get a 2 for voice. So I would do this for every single trait. All right? So there's word choice, conventions, sentence fluency. All right? And then the last one, of course, we can go over. Let me just go ahead and do one more to show you. I can do conventions, which is where we get into the grammar, if you will. So this talks about attempts semi-phonetic spelling, uses phonetic spelling, traditional spelling. He's actually a very good speller. So he only misses a few derivational constancy and syllable juncture words. I'm actually going to give him a 4 for capable for transitional spelling. Okay, so spelling of high-frequency words, spotty. Actually, no, he does a really good job of most of his words here. All right, he misspells some, but I'm sort of impressed. So I'm actually going to give him a 4. High-frequency words usually correct. Okay, so, and then capitals at the beginning of sentences. All right, and then this also says invariable use on proper nouns. All right, he does have a random capital T there, but there aren't any usage of proper nouns, really. So I'm going to go that back to a 3. Okay, and then uses punctuation correctly, spacing, random punctuation, and punctuation attempts. Well, he only has periods, so I'm just going to give him a 3. He uses it correctly. All right. He does not experiment with other punctuation, but long paper may be written as one paragraph. That can be a common problem. We can go through each of these, and then whichever column I have the most check marks is the score he's going to get for conventions. And once you've done all 7 of the traits, you need to look back and see which number do you have the most. Do you have the most 3s, the most 2s, the most 4s? Whichever number you have the most for each trait is the final number for his paper. So if I end up giving him a 3 for this, and he got a 3 for sentence fluency, and a 2 here, and a 3 here, I would go back and go, oh, he has a 3, a 3, a 3, and he got a 3 here. He has more 3s than he has 2s. So this student got a 3 total on his writing sample. So that's how you would do your grading it. Now for your activity that you're doing for your response, this is your writing sample. And the one you have, you're going to be able to see a little bit better, but it's much longer. It's written by a 4th grader. And you're going to go through and you are going to grade it like this, and you're going to tell me why you gave her the score that you gave her. And you're going to be scanning this in as your response activity. So you're going to be going through each category and defending why you gave her the scores for each trait and then her final score. But this is the paper that you will be using. So I hope this helps explain better how to do the writing sample and how to do your response activity.